It's time for Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Stay tuned for conversation and information from her special guest. Now sit back and relax and enjoy Real Talk with Cindy Barber.
Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. I see you coming on. As you're coming on, please let me know city, state, or country where you are joining me from. I see my sister is here from Connecticut. Good evening. Good evening. Please tag and share and let others know that we are on. We have some amazing guests with me tonight. You're going to enjoy this. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. So please tag and share and let others know that we are here. And we have an amazing new artist that has a brand new CD that's out. So you don't want to miss her on tonight. Rene. I see you coming on. Those that are watching from YouTube, welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. Please tag and share and let others know that we are here on tonight. God bless you, Pastor Lee from Rhode Island. God bless you. Good to see you. You're here on time tonight. Bless you. Please sow a seed and be a financial blessing to Real Talk with Cindy. You can use Cash App, which is $ Cindy's Keys. And I want to thank many of you that have supported and continue to support Real Talk. So please be sure and sow a seed and be a financial blessing to Real Talk. And that's $ Cindy's Keys on Cash App. Also, if you would like to advertise your event or use this platform live, please DM me or send an email to miss.cindybarber@gmail.com. You may have a business or a church service or something you would like to advertise here. I'll be glad to do that for you. I'm so excited to have everyone. I see you coming on. It's good to see you on tonight. I hope everyone had a great Sunday. Hope you all had a great Sunday. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Those I see you coming on from YouTube, God bless you. Nice to have you with us on tonight. But we're going to get started, and I'm going to bring on my first guest. Good evening, Smurff. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to have you with me on tonight.
I'm happy to be here for sure.
Thank you so much. So let's get started in our dialogue about questions. I have a few questions for you. What age did you begin playing?
I started playing at 10. Yeah, I started playing the piano at 10. I remember my sister got a Casio for Christmas, and it was like my sister wanted to play the piano first, honestly. And she started off playing big, and then from there she would have me play the other part, the other line. And from there I just loved it. I just started liking playing the piano, and it became, man, it became something I did every day. And then of course, growing up, I'm originally from Indiana, Hammond, Indiana. And I remember I used to be a part of the youth choir, Baptist church called Mount Hermon Missionary Baptist Church. The late Reverend Long, KB Long, was the pastor, and and I started singing in the youth choir and all that stuff. Which gave me a love for gospel music. My mom sang in the choir, so after our choir rehearsal at 4:00, we have to stay till 7 for their choir rehearsal, and it was just one of those things.
Did anybody in particular really inspire you to play after you started playing?
Yes, it was this one guy. It was this guy named Anthony Cherry. He's from Chicago, great organist. One of the organists that played at our church was this guy named James Rowe. He was a local musician, but really, he was really inspiring. But the one that really made me say, "Wow, I want to play just like him," was a guy named Tyrone Dickerson. Tyrone Dickerson, he produced a lot of stuff for Yolanda Adams. The Battle's Not Yours. He was like our music director for a long time. He was the music director for Ben Tankard. And also he had his own choir. He traveled with so many different people. And he was the one that really really took me in and kind of just start giving me information. One thing, he never really sat with me, but he made me do research. So I'll say, "Hey, how you play that song?" And he'll say, "Oh yeah, it's an F major 7, then it goes to a B major 7, and then you go to a G sus." And I'm like, "So what is that?" And he's like, "Go and get the book." He said, "Write down the chords and go and get the book." And then so what he did was he made me he how do I say it? He wouldn't allow me to be lazy, and he made me, he said, "If you want it, you're going to do the work." So I had to go over to the music store and try to navigate through these chords that I'd never even heard of before.
Right.
Later we start taking piano lessons, and went to this piano spot called Walker Music, and but that was the guy that really pushed me. And and one of the things he taught me, he said, "Hey Smurf, do you want to be a musician? Do you want to be a church musician? What do you want to be?" And so I was like, well, I don't want to be. Honestly, I was like, I want to be a musician. He was like, "Well, cool. This is the things you're going to have to do." And he gave me a lot of tools where he said, "You have to listen to all music, learn it in its authenticity, well, if that's a word, be authentic with it." And he really challenged me to learn the music the way it's supposed to be played. He said, "When you play R&B music, don't use all them church chords. When you're playing church, use church chords." Exactly. Stay true to the genre. And so that kind of put me in a place where now when I play gospel music, it's like, we're gonna play gospel music. Let's not use all that jazzy stuff. Nah, let's play the song the way it's supposed to be played.
Wow, that's amazing. There's nothing like having a mentor or a coach to kind of guide you through. That's so important. It's so important. Do you play any other instruments besides keys?
So I played a little bit of drums and a little bit of bass, but just enough for studio purposes. Do not ask me to play at no church service or nothing like that, because I'm gonna fail you. Okay. Well, it's enough to get my ideas out, but nah, to say that I'm authentically a bass player or a drummer, no.
No, can't say that. And I know, how long have you been producing? Because you are a 3-time Grammy nominated musician, you're a songwriter and producer. How long have you been producing?
Well, I've been producing for 23 years now. Yeah,
Really?
23 years now. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's so funny because we actually won one Grammy, but I was a part of a project that won one of them, but I never put that I won it because I haven't got the hardware. I only got the certificate. So
Yeah.
until I get that hardware, I'm not going to claim this Grammy yet.
Yes,
So,
right, right.
it's just a thing. My integrity, I want the hardware. So we're
Right.
gonna get there real soon.
Yeah, you will.
But 23 years, yeah.
That's a
These
long
guys,
time.
Carvin and Ivan, they took me under their wing, and it was this company called Home Cooking, which it was Carvin, Ivan, Mike, and Jay, and Music Soul Child. They all had this company together, and they signed me as a producer to the company.
Wow. Because I know you are the music director. Are you still the music director for Common?
Yes. So I've been Common music director for, man, it was like maybe maybe like I've been like 13 years. Yeah, Jesus.
Wow.
But of course, within time, you start working with other artists. So because you can't really commit to it, sometimes we'll put somebody else in place so they can continue to push the music.
Wow. So it's several people that you have worked with, Michael Jackson, Mary J. Blige, and Ty Tribbett, of course, Tamla Man. So it's quite a few that you have worked with. That's remarkable.
To God be the glory, for real.
Yes. And then you in church too. Once you get off the road,
every Sunday,
you in church.
Absolutely. I refuse to miss a Sunday.
Right.
And I love it so much, mainly because it's the thing that really keeps you grounded,
It is, right. It definitely keeps you grounded. And shout out to your pastor,
Apostle Robinson. Yes. The best pastor on this side of heaven.
All right now.
Yes.
I hear you. So now we have some others that have joined with us. We have Rene, who is an artist. And she has a new CD out. And we're gonna talk with her. And then we have Richard Tubbs. How are you, Tubbs?
Blessed by the best, you know the rest.
We know, that's for sure. We definitely know the rest. Now, share a little bit of when you got started, because I know you are a phenomenal musician as well. So share a little bit about when you got started.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! I thought we went through this already.
We're gonna go through it again.
All right. Well, praise the Lord, everybody.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I started on drums when I was about 3 years old, and my mom tells me every once in a while that I was born with rhythm, and her and my dad were very shocked to see me clapping on beat and bopping my head to the songs that were playing on the tapes and the cassettes in the car. I could barely talk or walk, but I could keep time. Wow. So my dad and my uncle invested in me to play the drums at the church, even though I could barely reach the instruments, but they put me on there, and then I started playing organ at 10, just like Big Brother Smurff, and I never stopped. I just kept going.
Wow. Share with the audience as to who you play for.
Oh, well, number one, I play for God. I play for my father's church in Pleasantville, New Jersey. I play for a church called Agape Family Worship Center in Rahway, New Jersey. Yeah. And those are my weekly services. And throughout the week, you can find me at anybody's church from South Jersey to North Jersey, anywhere in Philly. But I also travel the road with Erica Campbell And Smurff brought me on to the scene for the Mary Mary camp.
Okay.
And that opened a lot of doors for me to play with Rashawn Mitchell, and I recorded one of his projects, and I played with Dietrich Haddon, recorded one of his projects, and I met Kiara Sheard and her brother, and they called me every once in a while to go on the road with them. And the Jerkins, Rodney Jerkins, Fred Jerkins, his parents, they're based in South Jersey, so they would have concerts and conferences every year for the women and for the church and all the artists that they brought in.
Wow.
I would be the one to, come on, let me play for him.
I hear you.
And after a few years, they started asking me, can you please play for them? So God be praised.
Yes, I'm telling you, the doors will be opening for you, right?
Yes,
but you guys put God first, so
come on in now.
Jeremy Warren, you see what he's saying.
That's my big bro.
Yeah, Jeremy. Good to see you, Jeremy.
Good brother Warren. Shout out to I saw JR, Jeff, and brother Aaron Williams on here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Aaron is on here.
Yes, sir.
So Rene, let's chat with you a little bit.
Hey, new on the scene.
Yes. How are you doing and what are you doing? Let's share a little bit about when you got started with singing.
Well, I think I was around 3 or 4 years old listening to my dad, and later on in church, they put me in a group. My first solo was Don't You Know God Is Able. He's my mother when I'm motherless. He's my father when I'm fatherless. And ever since then, I've just been into singing and wanted to get on Star Search at one point. When it was out, I just wanted to be on Star Search. I just wanted to see what it was like. And ever since then, like in elementary school, I was really shy, very scared to sing out loud for people. So it was kind of a mixture of fear and wanting to be in the limelight. I don't know how that works, but but nevertheless, it was a good childhood as far as music was concerned, because I used to scream and holler a lot and cry because I was a spoiled brat with my dad. And then I found out one day when I was screaming and hollering at somebody that I think I had a little voice. And I've been it's like, because I scream and well now, that comes from a lot of crying. And so now, I didn't know that I was strengthening my vocal cords doing all that hollering and screaming. But yeah, that's how I got started as a kid. And throughout high school and, college and learning music. I'm not a good piano player, but I try. I try. I learned the other instruments, like the wind instruments and some of the brass instruments, but piano is my arch enemy.
Oh. Your arch enemy. So let's share with us about your recordings. This is your second recording that you have out now. So when did it come out and how did that begin for you?
So this is the full album. It came out. It officially came out May the 1st. But we also celebrate our hard copies on June the 9th. When I first came out October 21 with Blessed Be the Rock. Smurff and I, we just jammed it out for I don't know, throughout COVID. And jammed it out, song. And it was so much delay. The enemy didn't want me to. He didn't want me to come out. I was like, look, we coming out this album. And so I decided to release after all of the delay. I said, I need to release this. I need to release it. And so the Lord allowed me to release it. And man, it's just been a blessing ever since.
Well, how did you get connected with Smurf and Tubbs? So how did you get connected with them?
Well, I'm connected with Tubbs. Hi, Tubbs. What's up, Tubbs? But with Smurf, I so lovingly, I'm not gonna say his name right now, but I don't know. It was a long time ago. He said it was a church service that I got connected with, or it was a shed. It was one of them. Was it a church service, or put your thumbs up? It was a church service.
It was a church service.
Okay, yeah, it was a church service. Yeah,
I remember
Smurf was
seeing
about.
her. Oh, go ahead.
He was about 15 years old. I call him 15. He was about 15 years old. He was a little kid. That's when I met him, and I knew that one time I knew that we were going to work together. But it was just a matter of time when that happened. And just one day, when I said, okay, we're gonna do this album, I gotta do this album. And I just been for like, I don't know, a couple of years, just been seeking the right producer for a long time. And then just one thing just happened, and I believe God just said, call Smurf. And I obeyed that, and voila.
Right. That's amazing. You gotta have the right producers and musicians, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. And they were really good ones, but they just wasn't the one.
Yeah. And when it connects, you know it.
Yep.
So Smurf, what were you looking for? When you guys produce somebody, what are you looking for basically in that person? I'll start with Smurf and I'll ask Tubbs after.
Well, really, it's a matter of just asking them their story and really wanting to bring their testimony to life. Because a lot of times, coming in as a producer, some people you never met before. You don't know their story, you don't know their walk, you don't know their their goals or anything like that. So like typically the first session is really just sitting down talking, busting it up, laughing, like breaking the ice. Just who is Rene?
Well, we didn't have to break the ice. The ice was already broken.
And I would tell you, that's a real thing too. You gotta have an anointing to produce. That's right, Aaron. That is real. That is real. But the really, you just really listening very, you listening real hard and just making sure that you understand what their testimony is, and making sure that you don't push your vision of music on them, because bring their vision to life. It's not about your sound, and it's not about what you feel it should be. It's really, what do you want? Because they have a sound that they're looking for, and what happens is a lot of producers, they come in very self-motivated and they miss the whole mark because you missed everything what they said. They may say, hey, I only want this to sound, I only want this to be very traditional gospel.
Right.
And then we like, no, but we should make this, and we should do like this. And you just missed the mark. What did she say she wanted? Did she want this? So, it's those little things. And then just really breaking the ice and getting one, because it's a new relationship working together too, just making sure that they're comfortable to execute at a high level too, because when you never work with somebody, sometimes you can be, do they like the way I sing? Do they like the way it's all those different layers and things that you're breaking through, and making sure that they feel comfortable enough to really execute what God put in them.
Yeah. And that's so true, because I know of a person, I'm not going to say their name, but they went to a particular producer, and the producer they were traditional gospel, but the producer was trying to make them something else. And they sent me, to listen just to get my opinion. I said, but that's not you. And I said, you got to work with a producer that's going to bring the best of you out, not them, because it was all the producer's sound. And I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people feel like, well, if I don't go with what the producer is saying, maybe it's something wrong with me. So it's nice to hear you say that, And Tubbs, what do you look for too?
Well, I look for a sound that they already have, and I try to only enhance and add on to what they have already established or what they have in their mind. So it's not a tug of war while we're recording, and it's not an obvious mixture of a whole lot of different flavors and ideas on a project, because when that happens, the listener can hear it. And it's so important to be on the same page sonically, musically, spiritually, and naturally.
Right. Now, do you all take, how long do you take to really kind of get accustomed to knowing that artist? How long does it take? Do you just go right into the studio, or do you kind of meet with them somewhere and kind of talk with them before?
I I personally like to talk to them on the phone. Sometimes it only takes 30 minutes to an hour to really feel their spirit and hear what they're looking for. And if you're in tune with God, He'll, take you the rest of the way.
Right.
But sometimes they come to you for your sound already. So it's important to know which direction to go, whether you bring yourself to the table or you come to their table and just add a couple things, so it's an easy process.
Right. And what about you, Smurf?
Well, you know me, I like to eat, so let's go and get some food. Let's find some chicken. Let's get some. Where the red beans and rice? All right. Where is the gumbo? Give me some gumbo.
Right.
Food always is a good icebreaker. So let's go and find some food. And let's go and talk. And then what happens is, you start hearing the person, because I don't care. Some people can show you who they are, who they want you to see. That they can show you the what they call it, the what's the person that comes before the person that
The representative.
The representative. There it is comes. But then when you give them some food, you know what I mean? You start seeing the real person.
Right.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so that's who you are.
Right.
But
the real them comes out.
Yeah. And that's what you really want. You want to make honest music, because people see the fluff. They're like, nah, that ain't them. That's not who they are. But when the music is honest, it really hit differently. Like, it really can hit your heart and, people's spirit, because people know a good song the moment they hear it. They like, nah, that ain't it, doc. But we lying to ourselves and be like, oh, no, I love it. Oh, no, you don't. That ain't it. So, for real.
That's true. That's
and I'm gonna be honest, working with Rene was so easy because one, she already had a plan in her mind. She said, Smurf, these are these songs that I really want to do. I want this. I want this particular song. I want this to be this. And for me, it was one particular song. I was like, I remember hearing you sing back in the day, and this was one of those things that I was like, hey, it attracted me to your voice. And like, no, I am not doing that. I am not. No, never. Da da da. And then so, ask her what is one of the most popular songs on the album right now. I'm throwing her under the bus right now. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm gonna shut my mic off right now. And
So Rene, let's talk to you now.
And oh man.
And you came with your songs. Did you write those songs?
I think I wrote 8 of them out of 11, right? Yeah, 8 of them out of 11. Smurf helped me write. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Why, Smurf?
It's all good. Somebody says here, I don't know if it's Raquel or Rachel. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. so forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. She said, and the honesty, Smurf and Tubbs are some honest men, abrasive at times, but it comes from a good place.
We love you, sis. We love you. You are the best.
And she also says, a lot of people want to work with you because of the character and life that y'all live. Their name, reputation won't be stained for being associated with either of you. Wow, that's great.
Great people.
That's great. That says a lot. That says a lot.
That says a lot.
That's our sis. You know what? She came in the studio and she gave us all they cried loud and spared not. That's our front. Man, Aaron is one of the most incredible organists in the world.
Is he? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So if y'all know who Willie James Campbell is,
yeah.
that's his organist. That was his organist for man, how many years? Maybe what you say, Tubbs?
I think he said 15 years.
Really? 15 years?
Nah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's Jesse Daddy.
And that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he corrected it. 20 plus.
20.
There it is.
That's
There
a
you
long
go.
time.
Man, growing up, we used to listen to their broadcast every Sunday night at 8:00. And I'm telling you, he was a major influence on my organ player for sure. Backing up a preacher, all that stuff. Man, I used to listen to him. I couldn't wait till he tuned up. And
Really?
I still use this stuff till this day.
Yeah,
From that man right there, Aaron Williams.
Aaron Williams.
Because it works. Now, have you all been in a situation where someone came to you to produce them, but they didn't have any material, or they may have had just one or two songs? What did you do? What did you say? Go back and then come back with your music, or did you use some of your music? What did y'all do?
Me personally, I tried to create with them to make some more music and to work on the two that they have. And if they don't have a vision and they don't, latch on to yours, then it's a whole lot of work.
Oh, yeah. You don't just say bye.
No. Try not to diss them.
That's nice.
Well, what I try to do is like on off time, I'm always in the studio with different writers and songwriters and singers. So I consistently try to create songs throughout. I feel like God is always speaking. He always giving us new music. So around that time when I'm not working with an artist, like I'll just record songs, and I like to get with different songwriters because they all have different approaches.
Yeah.
And so what happened is when they typically come back to the studio, or if they come and they don't have anything, I'll go through a long list of songs and say, hey, this song might be good for you. Let's try this out. What you think about this song? And some songs they'll say, that's not for me. Wow, whose song is that? Can I have that? And it's like, okay, wait, let's listen to this. So I'll go through like a whole list. And then if they get something that they like, if they can no songs, and that we go from it, we do it like that, and we go through beats that they might like, if there's a lot of beats that they can write to out, a lot of beats, and just say, hey, check this beat out, and they might say, hey, let me take that home, let me write to that, and then bring it back.
Wow. So what do you do, Tubbs? You just said, I guess you have to really stay prayerful, and that's where prayer really comes into play.
Oh, most definitely. Oh, yeah. Let the Holy Ghost lead you, because people can send you down a tricky lane. Right. Have you going in circles thinking you crazy?
Right.
God does that.
What do you say to songwriters or potential songwriters? What do you say to them? Because I know some are watching and will be watching. What would you say to them, the potential songwriters or somebody that would like to be a songwriter? Because I know, Rene, you say you wrote a lot of your songs as well. So each one of you, what would you kind of say? I'll start with Rene. What would you say to them?
I would say grab inspiration wherever you can and whenever you can. I know my first inspiration comes from God, and then from my parents. But I can just like look at a tree or look at something across the street and grab inspiration from that and begin to write it. Life experiences, just sitting
Mhm.
down and being quiet. Sometimes God gives me songs in the dreams and I'll be forgetting them, but
Mhm.
eventually I remember them. But get that inspiration wherever you can get it from, and just begin to write down when the idea formulate in your head. You can either write it down or you can
Mhm.
record it, use some type of recorder to record your idea and never forget your idea and then develop it from there.
Wow, that's good. Grab inspiration. Tubbs, what would you say
I,
to them?
I would say to them, don't try so hard to be different, because
Mm,
different doesn't really grab people's attention,
mhm,
and it doesn't sell right away. I think familiarity uh, allows people to latch on to your sound, and then
mhm,
once you've established a fan base, then you can try to venture off and try different things. But if you're
mhm,
coming from the jump saying, I got my own style, I do my own thing, I don't want to sound like
mhm.
nobody else, it's kind of like the radios aren't going to play your stuff, and people aren't going to be quick to
Mm,
work with you if you don't follow a certain formula and a certain format. And it's kind of like most songs on the radio are 4 minutes and under, and all your
right.
songs are 7 minutes. They're gonna be like, I can't
Well,
work with
yeah,
you. Yeah.
that's too long. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Smurf, that's good.
It's real good. Can you repeat the question one more time? Because I was so
I was
I was
saying
I got so engulfed in what he was saying. I was like, man, that's good.
it was good. I was saying about songwriters. What would you say to songwriters, those that have potential or may not, but they're considering songwriting? What would you say to encourage them, or you know?
Keep writing. Um, you
Mm,
know, do it every day. Like, um, a lot of times we may not. We got to remember that. Well, my inspiration comes from above, which is God. Um,
right.
and a lot of times I look at us as musical prophets. A lot of
Mm,
what we do, it comes in a place where sometimes we may be so ahead of our time, because
yes.
a prophet may give you a word right now, but it may not manifest itself 4 or 5 years
Mhm.
from now. But
Wow.
he gave it to you right now to really execute, and
Hmm.
um and sometimes we are ahead of our time. So
Hmm.
even though it may not hit today, tomorrow it will hit different. So just
Wow.
write, and keep on
Right.
working on your craft, because what happens is it's those little things that you may not be good at right now, but if you do
Yeah.
it every day, you start getting
Hmm.
better and better and better, and working
Hmm.
on your weaknesses. Because I notice, like, something I do when I practice as a
Hmm.
musician. I may just play a worship song, but I play it in every key, just so whatever keys I'm not strong in, I get stronger in those keys. So
Hmm.
writing, do that. Just keep writing, because you may not be good in this genre of worship songs, but you may
Right.
be a praiser, and that praise song, it may have 10 words, but it may hit hard. Never would have made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm stronger. I'm better.
Right. That's true.
But that song, it hit so hard. It was on the radio every 5 minutes.
It
But
was.
keep writing, keep writing. Don't
Hmm.
stop. Even when people
Hmm.
don't think you're good, keep writing. You know,
Right.
there's somebody for you. There's a lane for you. And what we do is we
Hmm.
build our own tribes. You know, a lot of times we may look at out the beehive, the tribe of Beyonce. You know, she built her tribe, and you
She
know what?
did.
She have her tribe, but then you have somebody like Rihanna. She have a whole nother tribe. Then you
Yeah.
have, Marvin Sapp. He have his tribe. Rick
Yeah.
Miller have his tribe.
Right.
Look at them. I don't care if your
Mm-mm-mm.
tribe is 5 people today. Tomorrow maybe 10. The day after that be 15. After that 15 be 30. Keep building your tribe and don't stop.
Yeah.
Somebody want to hear what you have to say.
That's so true. That is really good. Really good. Now, Renee, with your CD that you have out now, you say you've extended it because you came out just with a single before.
Yes.
Yeah, and now you have a full CD. So, what are your plans, and how is it going now that you have the full CD that's out. It's a great CD. I want everyone to really to purchase it. It's really good. So what do you?
Well, we're in the midst of marketing the CD online through social media, posting and building content. Also, just getting the word out there through radio. We're going to re-release Blessed Be the Rock as a promo to the CD. And
Yeah.
also we're going to what are all of the other things that we're going to do with the CD, just put it in the hands of great marketers so they can market the CD and sell it online. I also got hard copies for the seniors and the people who are not yet digitally, literate. I'm talking illiterate, not but who are not that technical savvy, but still
Right.
wants to hear my music. We still have some hard copies for them, and so we're just going to do our, we're just going to put it in the hands of God and just market,
Mm-hmm.
and just push Rene as an artist out there to just get more
Mm-hmm.
chances to minister to the people in song, and as visible as I can possibly be.
Right.
And so sometimes I switch back and forth from a singer to publisher, agent.
Yeah.
But
Do it
yeah,
all.
it's a wonderful thing to be able to wear those hats, to just begin to market and really
Mm-hmm.
begin to work on performance and stage, and
Yes.
really begin to show what you and God been talking about during your
Yes.
down times. And
Mm-hmm.
because for me, it's more than just music and performing and howling and screaming on stage, but it is
Mm-hmm.
for somebody to be saved. So that prayer life is very important. The prayer life, even
Mm-hmm.
is extremely important.
It
And
is.
so there's just a lot of faith in God that
Yes.
it will take me very far, or as how far as God want me to go. So I'll
Right.
continue. But as long as we take those steps and do what we're supposed to do, I believe God is going to bless us.
Yes. And I think if more artists had that same heart, that you're saying, I think they would go, pretty far, because I think a lot of times once people do their single and they put it out, I think they think that that's it. And I think they don't put the work into it. Like you said, you want to know all aspects of it, marketing and everything, So as far as you, Smurf produced it and Tubbs, you played on it.
Woo-hoo.
So now are you guys finished? How do you do when you've recorded a person like Rene and others that you guys have done amazing work? So is your job done once that CD is completed, Smurf?
No. This is when the hard work really starts, because this is really getting in those trenches, getting in these churches and ministering what the words that God gave you.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like going in the studio is kind of like studying the message.
Oh,
And
okay.
as you study the message, now it's time to preach the word and preach this music to the whole world and get it in these churches and minister the words that God then gave you. And
Yes.
while you're working on the music, sometimes it's when you first do the song, you're so excited, you're like, oh, I can't wait for them to hear this. I can't wait. But then after you lived with it, sometimes you kind of got to continue to minister that, let that word minister to you so you can get it now out to the people, because it may be old to you, but it's
Right.
so fresh and new to other people that they haven't even heard it. So
Right.
get in those churches and saying, hey, this is what God gave me to give to you.
Right. Absolutely. Tubbs?
I think being excited about the project and taking ownership of it is also a part of being involved,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, leave it alone once they finish the musical part,
Yeah.
and your whole following and fan base has no idea that you
Mm-hmm.
did that because you didn't
Mm-hmm.
share it, you weren't excited about it, and you
Absolutely.
didn't put that artist on your radar so that those that follow you can also become fans or support you.
Right.
So I think it's very important for musicians and producers and artists to continue to support and publicize their works, because
Wow.
it's so much content going out and everyone's doing their own thing that you can't just count on one avenue or one aspect of it to
Right.
do the work that used to be done back in the 90s.
Right. Yeah. How about that? Um, Prophet Stacy Bent says, keep building. It shows everyone on your panel has understanding and revelation, not just skill, but you have the anointing. And that's
Glory to
good.
God.
They have it.
Good God, my
Amen.
master.
I have another question for you. Now, there are some people who I guess can't afford really to go into a real studio. So a lot of people now are making them at home or having them at home. What is the difference between that, having some equipment at home and making their CDs at home themselves, as opposed to basically going into a studio? Or is there a difference, Charles?
Well, I'll go first, and then Bishop Dakalak, you can expand. I think people glamorize the idea of doing everything yourself and blowing
Mm-hmm.
up,
Mm-hmm.
because it happened a few times with different artists and different bands in
Mm-hmm.
different arenas. So you
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's so easy that you can just do everything from home and it'll have the
Mm-hmm.
same effect and sound as they would in a $1 million studio.
Right.
Uh, the first thing is the engineer. If
Mm-hmm.
that person that's mixing it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have that $1 million experience or that $1 million ear, it's not going to sound like that at all. It's going to sound like you did it at home. And then
Okay.
secondly,
Mm-hmm.
your sounds themselves. If
Mm-hmm.
you're using, the basic stock sounds that come with, the free programs and
Mm-hmm.
the different regular digital audio workstations, then you're not going to sound like you're on the
Right.
same level as Kirk Franklin or
Right.
Quincy Jones, because you're using much dense and simpler sounds compared to a 50-piece orchestra with all
Right.
real instruments and a real grand piano that's been professionally tuned and a Hammond
Right.
organ, and
Mm-hmm.
those things aren't replaceable, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes a huge difference from recording on that priceless instrumentation with
Mm-hmm.
priceless microphones with the priceless engineer compared to someone at home that says, "Oh, I can do the same thing with just a
Yeah.
few buttons." It's
Right.
a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Smurf. Mm-hmm.
Man, Tubbs really nailed a lot of it, for real, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to piggyback on anything he said, it's really knowing your limitations.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, um, I do stuff at home, but I also have a studio at my church. Um,
Okay.
and what I do is some things that I can't do at the church or at my house, I outsource.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very big on outsourcing. Like, if I need live horns, I have a guy that do horns. If I need a guitar player, I outsource him. Hey, I'll send it over here, or I'll have him come to the studio.
Right.
Drums, recording
Mm-hmm.
drums is one of the most hardest things that you can. One of the Getting that drum sound right is the hardest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want them things to, you want them to smack, you want them to sound really rich, you want them to sound full, and
Yeah.
you know, once you get that sound right, you
Right.
really good. But I'm piggybacking on Tub. What Tub said again, the piano sounds. If you're using the the stock sounds in Logic, Garage Band, Pro Tools,
Mm-hmm.
you want to sound just like the next man over here. And it's really just knowing your limitations and knowing how good if you know how to tweak certain things, you can get around it.
Right.
But it's nothing like a B3 sound.
That's
It's
right.
nothing like a what's the a Yamaha Grand you know it's nothing like it. It's nothing like a real Rhodes, you know, executing and using all the pedals and you know different wahs and flanders and you know all that stuff. But I recommend really just kind of like just educating yourself too, because the more you educate yourself, you'll realize that some things you could have did at home. You know, I recommend even songwriters and stuff, go and get a mic, go and get a laptop, go and get your interface, you know, because I feel like some of the stuff that you don't have to do in the studio, you can really do it at home, you know. And the more you know how to do when you go in the studio now, you're executing at a high level because you understand now this is how my voice sounds. So I know how to pull back. I know how to execute more. I know how, you know, to do this. And now it cuts down on time that you would spend in the studio. You know, some people do hourly rates. Something that could take 15 minutes just took you 4 hours. You never really did your homework. You never educated yourself on studio etiquette. You know, some people are scared to sing in the studio. Why? Because you're not rehearsed, you're not practiced. You don't practice in it. And now our job as producers, you know, it becomes a little bit more. We got to guide you a little bit more because you know it's something that you don't do. And I'm not knocking those. You know, what we're here for as you know producers to do that. But if you educate yourself on a lot of this stuff, you'll save a lot more money for sure.
That sounds good. It's really good. Now I'm going to ask you a question here, and Rene, you can chime in too. I wanted to talk about choirs, about recording choirs, or what is your stance on recording choirs? Or Rene, do you ever think that you would ever record with a choir as background singing? And then I'll get to the producers.
I would love to record with a choir. I miss choirs. I enjoy praise and worship teams, but it's nothing like the full sound of a choir and a lot of people, you know, gathering together. Pardon the thunderstorm in the back, if y'all can hear that. But it's nothing like a full sound of the choir. I miss the choir sound. I have a song on my album called Rain, and oh my God, I would love for a choir to sing that song as well. And I just miss the choir. The whole sound. So there, I don't have anything else to say except for bring it back. Bring the church choir back. Bring the recording choir back. It's a beautiful full sound that I miss so dearly.
And I almost kind of thought when I heard "Blessed Be the Rock," I almost thought you had a choir or something in the background. It was amazing. It's an amazing song. The way you did it and did it over. Oh my gosh, I listen to it all the time. I just love it. The sound of it and your voice. You have an amazing voice. You have an amazing voice.
God be the glory.
And see, a lot of us didn't know you, but now we are. And like you said, the marketing, getting out. Now the real work begins, getting you into the church, because you have a different sound where it can be church, jazz, it can be something different, you know, wherever you go, you know. So I thank God for you.
I love it because I'm trying not to. Honestly, I'm trying not to be different, but I'm trying to be myself. And if you have producers out there that's trying to, like, you know, it was explained earlier, to try to make you become somebody that who you're not. Yeah. And so, you know, I'm really working towards being myself. So I'm often compared to a lot of people, but I say I love them. I love them dearly. Yeah. But I can only be me.
That's right.
So, and that's how I would share my music, is just by being me.
Yeah. And that's what they want you to be, is you. And that's who you are. Your CD explains it, that, you know, that's who you are. Now, Smurf, I know you recorded your church choir, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love choirs. If I can sing tenor in all the choirs, I'm singing in the tenor section if y'all let me. Look, no, I love choir. I think the choir is so amazing on so many levels because one, I feel like it brings people together. It keeps people out of trouble. I know they say a lot of mess. The choir is one of the messiest places. I don't mind the choir being messy because it's saving you from these streets, out these clubs, out these bars. You know,
Right.
The choir is amazing, and then it's nothing about like the sound, the fullness. You know, the swells, you got your Donald Lawrence, your Ricky Dulles, you got your Craig Hayes, your End Time Levites, you got your Corey Shipley's and the Bishop Choir, you got
right.
Look, I remember y'all recording out. I came to y'all recording. I think Dana had produced it or played organ on it at that time. Man, and I love it. It's necessary. And then not only that, I feel like it grows your church. It gives people something to be a part of. Everybody may not be the best singer, but then it's also a great place to scout great singers because that one singer that you didn't know was good, she was all the way in the back, but then you realize like, wow, she the one that I need on my praise team. Let's pull her up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Choirs, it does so many great things for people and churches. I love it.
Yes.
Bring them back.
Well, first giving honor to God who's the head of my life. To the pastor, to the bishop, evangelist,
you got a song like that
too. Oh yes, I love choirs, and I played at this church in Atlantic City called Second Baptist, and they were choir based, and it was a new experience for me because all of the other churches I played for were, praise team and soloist based. Devotional service, people either making up songs or singing old songs that are very basic is the way I grew up. And then once I got to the Baptist setting, it was kind of like way more together and organized and structured, that the choir is at the forefront. So to experience that for 15 years and then to go to a non-denominational church that's more praise team based, I didn't realize how much I missed it, because I would be in the shower at times and all of a sudden I'm thinking about one of the Sunday mornings when the choir was up singing. Wow, man, those were some good times. I produced a song on their album for Second Baptist. It's called Consecration, the name of the album. So shameless plug, go ahead and download.
Thank you.
Thomas Jennings and the Second Baptist Inspirational Choral Ensemble. It was a great experience recording with that choir, and I recorded some songs with the End Time Levites. I worked on Corey Shipley and the Bishop's Choir, their last project. And I've done a few choir projects with Pastor Bubby Fan. So it's been great being in the trenches with the choirs, going to all the rehearsals and seeing how the directors and the producers work together to bring about this sound, and how they have to speed everything up because there's so many people involved that you can't give too much attention to small details, and it's kind of like, all right, let's just think about the big picture. All right, let's do this. So to have those elements in the recordings session is very fun, and you make a big family, and you never know who's in the choir, and they can help you along the line down the road, and it's just a great big family.
It is. It is. I love the choirs. I love the praise team too, and I love the soloists. But it's really good. Cindy has given a lot of people an opportunity to develop their voices and sound because of the choir. Everything you're all saying is true about the importance of the choir. It's very important. It is. It really is.
Yes. Too, like, we got to bring the youth choirs back too, because that's where a lot of, I don't think I would be the musician I am today if I didn't have a youth choir.
A youth choir.
I
think we all been on those.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shameless plug too. We working on Bishop Brandon A. Jacobs, his new choir album. It's the Ignite album. So that's another shameless plug too. Just look out for that couple of months.
Yes. And like you said, the youth choir, and then the his is not going to be a youth choir. His is just going to be a church choir. It's not youth. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. And someone else has said that's so true. Bring youth choir back. Yeah, I'm working on that down, and I have to go to Orlando the end of July. It's a youth convention, and I'm putting youth choir together, and even a children's choir. So I already sent them their music. So I told them I want you to come, and they're coming from different places. So I thank God for that, because we do need them. And we all have sang on a youth choir or a children's choir, and that helped us, moving forward. It really has helped us. So as we close, what's next for you guys? I know, this project, Renee's project, you all are really pushing it. And at the end, Rene, I want you to, to announce the title and everything. But Smurf, what's next for you? What's next for you?
Right now, as I just said, with Bishop Jacobs, we're working on his new album. It's the Ignite album, Volume 2. It's a choir album. He's based out of Indiana.
Yeah.
He's incredible pastor, very integral. But they got some good choir music coming out. I'm currently working on my new album right now. I just started. I've been working on it for like a couple of months. It's it's an album. It's very different. It's very different than what we used to. But it's honest music. It's called The Creative Zone. And it's kind of bringing in a lot of different creative styles of different sounds of music. It's like a lot of different avenues of music. Also working on some movie stuff that we're doing with Disney, doing some new Disney stuff right now, and then doing some stuff with Netflix right now too. So God, he's faithful.
He is. Wow, that's amazing. Movies. I see a lot of some musicians, well-known musicians, are now acting. They're getting into movies, which is really good. Because I think it's good to have something else instead of just that one thing. You just play and that's it. It got to be something else too.
I think what's funny. I think that this is gonna sound crazy, but backing up preachers made scoring easy. It sounds crazy, but what we've been doing in church so long, we've been setting atmospheres.
Yeah.
I never recognized that setting atmospheres in church was going to have us setting atmospheres in movies. And it's just a different thing where we're setting the temperature of what's next coming. And that's where church is the most incredible thing. I encourage every musician to, no. I ain't gonna say that. Know your calling. Know your calling. I'll just leave it at that.
I got you. Know your calling. That's right. Because you say something and they just take it and run with it. They don't know how to decipher, So someone else, they want to hear something. Can they hear a sample of Rene? I'm going to play a little something. Good way to think of atmospheres and movie scores. That's amazing. That's good. Tubbs, what's next for you?
Good God Almighty. Well, continuing to pray and fast. That's always in order. And musically speaking, I'm also working on my solo project. And,
really? Wow.
Wow. I've been working on it the whole pandemic, and it's
really
very exciting and very humbling at the same time.
Yeah.
Because, it's so easy to help and critique and push somebody else's music that already has a fan base and a following. And then when it comes to yourself, it's kind of like, whew, I don't know.
No.
I'm not ready.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you really have to encourage yourself like David and really push to let the world hear your solo sound instead of all of the other sounds that you've helped cultivate by others. And
Yeah.
very excited about that. And
Wow, that's amazing.
working with Erica Campbell on her new project,
Good.
and Tina Campbell on her solo project.
Oh, wow.
Definitely looking forward to everything that their producer Warren Campbell sends my way. We help each other, and always honored to get the call from Big Bro Smurff. He sends me a lot of work, and I enjoy working with him.
Wow, that's good.
If I'm not too busy with him, then I'm in the studio with Dana Saray working with different artists and things that he's doing.
Yeah.
And Pastor Bubby calls me all the time to work on things. So I'm always going wherever I'm needed and learning from those professionals and adding to my repertoire.
All right.
And looking forward to releasing my own sound and working with my little sister Rachel that keeps commenting. And
oh, that's just nice.
Yeah, she released a song not too long ago and trying to get her whole album out.
Okay.
And definitely enjoyed working with Evangelist Rene. And
Evangelist, you got promoted.
Wherever the Lord leads, I will follow.
Yes.
God Almighty. Yes, ma'am.
Don't start nothing. Rene, I basically know what's next for you, but do you have anything that you want to share? Maybe it's something else that's next for you.
Well, all right. I'm not a jack of all trades, but I'm multi-skilled. So I love working in the area of urban planning and design. So I'm working into building my company, We Citizen, and just, try to help change the world one block at a time.
Wow.
And still continuing in that field in urban real estate development. Making strides to go to Kenya and find out what's going on there, both business and ministry related.
Wow.
Just working on building my family and down at my church, become deeper and more involved in ministry down at my church. And hi, Pastor Key, God bless you. And I give God the glory. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome person.
Yes.
And just allowing the Lord to use me in whatever capacity, whatever way, whatever. I'll just give my body to him and everything I have with me.
Wow.
So that he can be glorified.
That's amazing. You guys are so amazing. I could talk to you all night. I know we have to, but just your humbleness, to really share, this stuff you would need to pay for. I mean, you shared some great nuggets, and the anointing of what God is doing in your lives. I just appreciate you all so much. I'm going to see if I could play a little bit because, Facebook will cut you out because somebody wanted to hear a little bit. Can you hear it? I will call upon the Lord, for he is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. Blessed be, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. The Lord, blessed be, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. I will call upon
For he is worthy to be praised. I will call upon the Lord, for he is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. And let the God of my salvation oh, the Lord. Blessed be, and let the God of my salvation be exalted.
Okay, now you have to buy it.
I love it. I love it.
Now you have to buy it. I'm telling you. Y'all have to download all streaming platforms. And she does have some hard copies that, if you need to get in touch with. Rene, how can they reach you? You're muted.
Oh, Lord. So you can follow me on Instagram at Rene and Only. That's RENE and only, that little @ sign. And
Right.
Rene and Only. And I'm throughout all social media that way. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Just like that. And when you get there, you can just click on my link tree to download all my music that I have published there. And so if you want to, I have not, right now I'm setting up my website, and I will be putting ways that you can buy hard copies from my website. But when I go out to sing, that's how I'm going to be selling hard copies, unless you email me that you want a hard copy.
Right. And if you still just can't do it, just get in touch with me. I will help you get this. I will help you whatever way that I can. And if you really just can't do it, you can't go on Instagram, because some people may not be on Instagram and you can't find it. Get in touch with me, inbox me, and some of y'all have my phone number. Get in touch with me, because you need to get her project. I'm telling you, it's good.
Yes.
And these men have done a phenomenal job along with her voice. I'm telling you the truth. It is amazing. I love it. I told you I played it all the time. If I could sing it, I would have,
Go ahead, Dr. Barber.
The tenors. No.
Now you can take me when you go to Orlando. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to work something out.
Shameless plug.
Yes, we've been doing a lot of plugging tonight. I was already thinking.
Okay.
Yes. Because you got to get out here. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Where are you located, Rene? You're in.
I am in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. But you were in Trenton before. You used to live in Trenton?
Yes, I grew up raised Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay.
Class 96.
These other brothers in New Jersey.
Yep.
Say it again.
I know. I said raised Trenton, New Jersey, class of 1996, Trenton High.
All right now. Another plug. A lot of plugs tonight. But I want to thank you guys. I got to have you all back on again. Smurf, he can talk about the movies again. Tubbs can talk about whoever else. He might be with some movies, doing some producing with movies. I mean, you don't know. We're going to speak it.
You better prophesy.
We're going to speak it in the atmosphere. Both of y'all are good.
I receive
and Rene can do a little track. Maybe Tyler Perry might get a hold of this. Who knows?
Oh, come on.
In the name of Jesus.
Hallelujah.
We don't know. We don't know. But I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. And I'm so honored to have you, really, seriously. I love all three of you. And I look forward to sharing again, you guys sharing again with me back on Real Talk. And I want to thank everyone that's watching, those that's going to watch the replay on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page. Please share and let others know about this broadcast that we did tonight. This was a tremendous, it was a workshop, really. It really was a workshop. They gave you a lot of good nuggets. They did a lot of, plugging in and letting you know some things. So stay tuned and we will be in touch. And you guys stay right there. So I'm going to say good night to all. And I look forward to seeing everybody again back here on Real Talk real soon. Everyone have a blessed night. God bless.
Thank you so very much for tuning in to Real Talk with Cindy Barber. We hope you have been informed and inspired by the conversation on this evening. You can contact Cindy Barber on Instagram at CindyRBarber04. You can email her at ms.cindybarber@gmail.com or the YouTube channel at Cindy R. Barber. You can also contact Cindy about having your event advertised on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Cindy looks forward to you joining her next week for another informative conversation right here on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Until then, have a great evening.